In this episode, we're going to talk about how you can request a meeting through a cold email. Now, think about it. The reason why you send a cold email is actually to start a meaningful conversation, right? It's, through a meaningful conversation through email, which would eventually lead to a meeting. That's where you actually close a deal or actually solidify that partnership relationship that you want to have with that, business partner or that customer. So it's always important that you have a very strong call to action in your email. Now, I know a lot of people would say, I don't want to be too specific. I don't want to ask something in an email because, I want to be polite. But if you think about it, you're actually not being mindful of the person's time if you're not very definite and specific with the call to action in your email. So I want you to think about cold emails that you send. Here at Katallyze, we do a lot of cold email. We send over 100,000 outbound emails, and we've realized that it's super important to have a request. And by the way, you should check the previous episodes we had on the three components of a highly successful, highly effective cold email, actually. So we talk about the three components, and one of them is a request. So I'm going to show you 3 ways you can frame your request in a cold email. Now, one way you should actually think of it from this perspective, right? So you have, on this axis, we have the type of request. So on the type of request, you have one which is specific, and you have one which is not so specific, right? It's very generic. And on this axis, you have the likelihood of a meeting. So how likely would your email get you a meeting, or how likely would that type of request get you a meeting? And with that, we have high, and then we have low. So the 3 ways you want to frame that, you can actually sit here, right? So you could sit here, or you could sit somewhere here. And I'm going to tell you, some of these examples regarding that. Or you could actually be here, right? So, a not so specific request, which has a very low likelihood of getting responded to, is, for example, are you open some time to talk? So let's say some time to talk. Are you kidding me? Seriously? Are you open some time to talk? Oh, yes, I'm open. Let's say 36 months later. Is that good? Yeah, so it's not really specific. You gotta have something concrete. And this is not specific and has one of the least likelihoods of getting responded to, because the person needs to think, do I have some time to talk? Obviously, no one has time to talk to a stranger. The second way you can frame your request is to have kind of 2 options. Let's say, are you open Thursday 2 p.m. or next week Tuesday 1 p.m.? Right, so you give a person 2 options. Now, this really helps a lot, because if your first alternative or the first, option you have is not working for the person or doesn't work for the person, he could actually say, well, I think next week Tuesday would be good. And the reason why you want to have something within this frame is that even if the 2 time zones or 2 time frames are not good for him, he's going to say, none of these times is going to work for me. How about blah, blah, blah. So it still leads you to something very concrete and something super, super solid. And you give the person less work, so he doesn't have to look through the calendar and think so much about, some of the things that, he has to do before having a conversation with you. So this, we found, has a very good likelihood of getting a meeting. The one which we really like a lot is really simple. Give one specific time. So I'm open on Friday 9 p.m. Boom! Will that work for you? It's like, whoa, this guy knows what he wants, he's going for it. This lady knows what she wants, she's going for it. Yes, let's do that, I'm open, let's do it. No, Friday doesn't work for me. How about blah, blah, blah? So it still leads you to something very solid and concrete, which is a meeting where you can still advance the conversation that you want to have. So it's really important that you have, you want to be in the zone when it comes to having a request. So this is the kind of zone you want to be at. You don't want to be so vague and not be super specific. So these are these are three ways that you can frame your request. You want to make sure that it is really specific. You want to be mindful of the person's time. So you suggest something. It makes sure that it ensures that you're really proactive with what you're doing as well, and not just reactive. And yeah, we'll help you get a meeting. We've had a lot of meetings using this. So implement this framework. Let me know how it's working for you. Happy to share. Happy to get your feedback and get some ideas from you as well. Remember that we have a lot more episodes coming regarding cold emails, marketing, lead generation. So remember to subscribe. And also, hey, if you want us to help you get qualified meetings and leads with decision makers, shoot us an email. Shoot me an email. team@Katallyze.io. Always happy to have a conversation. See you in the next episode.